Kim. Welcome to my kitchen and welcome to tonight's Epicure cooking class. If you're not familiar with Epicure, there's a good reason. We're relatively new to the United States. We are a Canadian-owned company formed back in 1997 by a mother who just wanted to come up with easy, healthy meal solutions for her family. And she did that. Epicure has a very loyal following in Canada, so much so that they decided to expand into the United States market. And they did that back in August of 2019, and since then we've been growing exponentially. So if you haven't heard of it, you're not in the dark, you just haven't heard of Epicure. So tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what Epicure stands for, our time-saving cooking devices, our quick and easy meal solutions, our gluten-free desserts, and I'm going to dive into a little bit of everything for you, along with showing you how to make a meal in 20 minutes or less. So Epicure pretty much focuses on raw to ready meals in 20 minutes or less. They want you to enjoy what you're making. They want you to enjoy the process, but they don't want it to be hard and take forever. And I think that's why a lot of people shy away from even cooking from home anymore. You know, cooking healthy, cooking from scratch is not hard and doesn't have to take forever. And that's where Epicure comes in to show you that. So tonight we're going to be making our creamy pesto parmesan chicken, a really popular comfort food right now as we enter into fall and winter. And we're going to serve that over pasta. We also are going to make our gluten-free chocolate brownie with some fudge sauce on it. So, don't want to keep you too long. This is going to be about 30 minutes, start to finish, about 20 just in the food portion with me explaining a few things along the way. So, let's get started. Now, we all love dessert. I mean, even if you're not a sweet person, you might like rich and dense and chocolatey and decadent. So we're going to start with dessert today. So what we're going to be making is our gluten-free chocolate brownie. Now all our desserts, in fact, all of Epicure's products are gluten-free and processed in a nut-free facility. So that's a big deal, a really big deal for something packaged and something that is more of a convenience level food. And that's where we are different from a lot of packaged foods. We are gluten-free, we are nut-free, we are low in sodium and low in sugar. So this is low in sugar and gluten-free. And now all of our dessert packages, they come in sets of 2. The brownie mix, I believe, is $9.50 for 2. And what we're going to be doing today is making it in our rectangular steamer. So this is one of our time-saving cooking devices. This can be used for cooking side dishes in, green beans, corn. You can do a chicken breast in this. This is really perfect for someone who's cooking for one, a college student, a single person, somebody that maybe lives in a retirement community. Perfect for one, good for sides for two to three people, or for making loaves, a meatloaf, a brownie loaf, or banana bread loaf. So that's what we're going to do today. This only holds half the batter. So on all of our desserts, the instructions are right on the back. Right there, nutrition information. So this typically would make 12 serving. It's probably going to do 6 in this. And all it's calling for is eggs and melted butter. Now, if you wanted to do it vegan, which is something you can do with all of our products, you could do a flax egg. I believe it's 2 tablespoons of ground flax to half a cup of water, and you let it sit for a little bit. It thickens up, and then you could do melted coconut oil instead of the melted butter. So you can make it a vegan option. So I'm doing half the portion today, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. There we go. A little bit more. Okay. And then the whole package typically will call for 2 eggs. We just have 1. Okay. There we go. And just gonna mix it up here. So in this mix, it's made of chickpea flour. If you ever are into gluten-free baking, or maybe you're trying to be healthier and mix up your grains and your flours, chickpeas are what hummus is made of. So it has like a earthy taste to it, but once you bake it, it loses that earthy flavor. So definitely, well, because there's raw egg in it, you definitely wouldn't want to lick the spoon, but you would get a funny flavor just because of the earthy flavor of the chickpea flour. But it's high in protein, which is really good. So what would be an indulgent treat? It's still an indulgent treat, and it's got some protein for you. So healthy at the same time. Okay, so that's mixed up good. All I did was I lightly greased this with a little bit of coconut oil. You don't have to do that. All of our silicone cookware is non-stick. So I just did it to make sure nothing sticks today in front of you guys, but you do not have to use any oil. So I'm going to push that in. Now, for any of our dessert mixes, we have, like I mentioned, we have this rectangular steamer where you can make a loaf. We have a 2-pack of muffin makers. Each one holds 6, so you can make 12 banana muffins, or our chocolatey temptation mix. You can make 12 cupcakes, and you can cook it the same way that we're gonna cook this right now. So all of this silicone cookware is fine to go in the oven. It's oven safe up to 445 degrees. It's dishwasher safe, it's freezer safe. So you can bake conventionally like you normally would. It just takes longer. And for the sake of being speedy and wanting more time to either spend with our families or do something we enjoy, this is where it gets really cool. This is gonna cook in the microwave in just a few minutes. So I'm gonna put the lid on that and pop it in for 3.5 minutes. Okay, so that is finished. With our rectangular steamer, you also get a little instruction card, and it just gives you some ways to use it. Asparagus in there is going to be, microwaved on high for 3 minutes. Broccoli, 2 cups is 3 minutes. You can do a salmon fillet in that, and that's going to be about 2 minutes, and then rest covered for a minute. Shrimp, 3 minutes. Whitefish, 2 minutes, and rest for a minute. So little handy dandy chart. If you ever lose this, I have a downloadable form for you. So something good to keep. Okay, so moving on, we will go back to our icing, which is going to be our chocolate fudge after that cools. So I'm going to get this out of the way here. Okay, and we are going to move on to our creamy pesto parmesan chicken. So I'm going to turn my skillet up here. Okay, creamy pesto parmesan is a meal solution. I love these things. They come in packs of 3 for about $9.50, $10. So you get 3 dinners. Again, there's instructions on the back. So if you're not feeling like thinking or doing anything or being creative, just follow the instructions. It's super easy. There are a million other ways to use all of our meal solutions. Our website has lots of recipes. You search the product, click recipes, and they'll pop up. If you're getting bored with something, this can actually make a dip as well, kind of like a take on a spinach artichoke dip. So perfect for that, perfect for the holidays or entertaining. But so this calls for a pound of chicken, 1.5 cups of milk, and the seasoning. So this is kind of a creamy, velvety, almost like an Alfredo would be, with hints of sweet basil in it. So it's a very warm and comforting pasta-oriented dish. And we are going to throw that around a little bit. Gets nice and hot. Okay, you could do full chicken breasts grilled if you wanted to. You could grill your chicken breasts and then throw in the sauce at the end. You could also cook this in our multi-purpose steamer like we're doing with the brownies there too. So lots of options. So I just have a pound of chicken tenderloins. Smaller the piece, the better. You could chunk these up if you'd wish. If you want to have little nuggets of chicken in there, For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to go with this today. Okay, we're just going to let those go in there and brown. To make sure they're turned up good. Okay, our brownies are just about done in 20 seconds here. How fast was that? Isn't that amazing? And we are going to move on to our pasta. This. And that's done. Okay, so our silicone cookware, as you saw, it's a little flexible, so you just want to be careful with it when you're taking it out. One thing you also want to be cognizant of is your microwave's wattage. My microwave is 900 watts. The average one is 1,000. So when Epicure says cook something for 4 minutes, it's based on about 1,000 watt microwave. If yours is more powerful, it may take less time, which is awesome for you. So let me show you this. And there is our brownie. I mean, that was done in 3 minutes. So I'm going to let that cool for a little bit, and then we will frost it. Okay, our pasta. So this is our multi-purpose steamer. It's rectangular. It holds about 14 cups. If you're going to do like a stew or like a casserole, you can make things like that in it. You can make a lasagna in this. You can do a whole rotisserie chicken in this. The possibilities are endless. You can make Rice Krispie treats in it. We're making our pasta in it tonight. So I have actually 3 cups of pasta in there. And on our handy dandy little reference sheet, it tells you how to cook your grains. So I always cook rice in this. I do pasta all the time. And what's awesome is it can be cooking in the microwave while I'm doing maybe a meat on the stovetop, or I'm roasting something in the vegetables. That way you're utilizing all your cooking devices, and that's really what hones in on timing as well. So for pasta, it's 2 cups of pasta, 4 cups of water, and you're gonna microwave on high. I have 3 cups, so I did 5 cups of water. So I'm just gonna pour the water in. Don't really have to give it a swirl at all. Put the lid on. The lid's vented right here. That's where the steaming comes in. And that is going to go for 10 minutes. Okay, so while that's rocking and rolling, I'm going to flip my chicken here. That's browning nicely. Now with the creamy pesto parmesan, you don't have to use chicken. You could use pork cutlets. If you're vegan, you could use tofu. That's the beauty again with all of our products. You get the flavors that you desire or are craving, and then you customize. You customize your protein, you customize your veggies. Maybe you only have a couple veggies on hand, so you just make that work. So that's what's really cool about Epicure's items. So while we are waiting on that to brown, I have my milk here. So this really just calls for milk. You could use almond milk. You could use rice milk. You know, if you have a dairy allergy, there's no issues with that. Epicure's products are one of the few meal planning and meal solution companies to actually coincide with dietary guidelines and restrictions. So again, like I mentioned, we're gluten-free, nut-free, we are low in sodium, low in sugar. So some people have to do that. It's medically necessary for themselves. Some people want to do that. So you know, this is where it's really awesome. You have your variety and choices without feeling like you've been restricted to things that taste good. The one thing that I really enjoy about Epicure's products are they give me restaurant quality meals without all that added oil and fat and salt. And I think that's really important for all of us to take on. You know, we're all busy, we all have busy lives, and we all take and eat convenience things. But over time, you just get adjusted to that salty and that sugariness, and we don't taste the real flavors anymore. Epicure's herb and spice blends are wholesome. They come from highly controlled organic farms. Our headquarters is in Canada, and we all know their stringency is much higher than ours here in the States. So very, very high quality products. Okay, so there is our sauce. That was easy. And while that's browning, we are going to turn it down a little bit, and we are just going to put our sauce in and let it simmer. Okay. And as you can see, look at if I can get it to the right angle for you, there's chunks of garlic and basil in there. I think you can see it down in the bottom. Yeah. Real stuff. Get all that goodness in there. So our creamy pesto parmesan chicken skillet meal is part of our fall collection. It was launched here, I want to say in September. It's very popular. We have a few other items in our best of fall collection. It's all our new products for fall and winter. Our sweet garlic chicken seasoning, which I love that as well. Perfect in the stove if you're going to roast chicken and veggies. We also have some really solid standbys like our taco seasoning and our sloppy joe seasoning and our Alfredo and our mac and cheese, all again aligning with low sodium and low sugar and making people more aware of what's in their food versus just shoving it in and not thinking about it. And I think that makes a big difference in people's health. We all have to take our health seriously, and I think we're in a time where we're finding out, if you don't have your health, you don't have much of anything. So kind of getting on a new wave of how people look at this. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down a little more. Okay, the last step with our Parmesan skillet chicken is to add about 4 cups of spinach. Now I actually have a power blend mix here. I think you're all probably familiar with it if you like greens. So it's got a little more vitamins and minerals, as if spinach doesn't have enough. So I'm just going to kind of put that in, and I'm going to lid it back up and let it wilt. My kids typically don't like spinach, but with this, they do. Now some people, if they don't want to do carbs, will just serve this meal. They'll wilt the spinach and then they'll serve it over a bed of spinach. Get your iron in for the day. This is our 4-cup prep bowl. It's got a silicone lid on it. It's super handy for leftovers or taking lunch to work. You can microwave it and just kind of pop the end up to vent it. Very, very nice. I love them. Okay, so we're just gonna let that wilt. We're gonna turn that down. So some people will throw, instead of the spinach, I started to tell you about that, they might, instead of spinach, do mushrooms. You could do chopped zucchini. I've seen diced tomatoes in there to add a little color, kind of the red, green, and white. That's really pretty. That'd be a great Christmas meal. So you have your options with whatever you like in your family and in your household. Okay, so we're gonna leave that right there. Okay, now back to our brownie. So I'm going to show you how quickly things pop out of our silicone bakeware. So as you see, just kind of give it a little wiggle, plop it up like that, and there we go. A little bit of residue in there, but nothing that's hard to take care of. And I'm just going to flip that over. So our fudge sauce, oh man, this stuff is delicious. We have fudge sauce, we have caramel sauce, and we have a salted caramel right now. These have multiple uses to them. You can make the chocolate fudge sauce, you can make chocolate icing, and you can make chocolate syrup for dipping and dunking. All it is it requires heavy cream on the stove top till it boils, and then take it off and let it cool. You could use it hot or warm at that point. To make the icing, I had to chill it. I had to whip it up real good after I chilled it to give it that texture. So that was done beforehand. This is like half a package. So this is 1 cup. This probably makes about 2 cups of frosting, or icing's runnier, so you're gonna get a lot more out of it. But really, it's just the milk of your choice. Heavier fat milk is better, especially when you're whipping. So that's ready to go, and I'm gonna get a spatula and smooth it on. Now, typically, your brownies would take as long as they take longer than what we're doing right now. So this was all ready to go, perfect for a quick, easy snack, or if you're maybe heading over to someone's house and you want to bring something with you, you could make it square. And in the multi-purpose steamer, you could get our round cake pans and make it as a round cake. You could do it in our muffins holder, like I was mentioning earlier. And I'll show you that in just a second. Another great thing is you can add our Power Up smoothie blend to it and add a little extra boost of protein. I have this right here. I love this. It's great with bananas and blueberries and spinach in the morning, and I just thin it out with water in a smoothie. This can be added to pancakes and brownie batters and inside oatmeal, so a really good way to get your kids some extra protein, some fiber. It has probiotics in it as well, so it's a really good healthy product. And then there's our muffin molds. Same deal, you just pop things out real easily, and when you throw these in the dishwasher, I always kind of do this and then let the dishwasher do the work. So it's super easy cleanup, which again is time saving, and that's what we all want. Okay, so we got our brownie there, and I am going to top it with our Cocoa Crunch Whole Food Topper. This is full of fiber for a little topper. You know, it's like kids with sprinkles. They want their sprinkles. Well, this is the adult sprinkle. And it can be the kids' sprinkle too. I'm sure they're going to love it, and they'll get some nutrition. So it's got chia seeds, organic cocoa nibs, psyllium husk, coconut, cocoa powder, and cinnamon. So I'm just going to shake that up on top. And this is good for just a tiny little bit of crunch and a little bit of decorative flair. And as I mentioned, it's great on yogurt. It's great in smoothies. It's great in oatmeal. It's a fun little topping. If you like the more sweet stuff, we also have a Tutti Frutti, which is carrot and apple and coconut and raspberry. And then we have our summer berry dip mix, which you can make a sweet dip for the kids. Dip apples in it, or strawberries, or blueberries, or even graham crackers. And you can also top stuff with it as well. We have one other whole food topper. It is called our Everything Bagel Spice, which if you love everything bagels, like, they're amazing, aren't they? So it's definitely worth checking out, and it has some added fiber to it as well. So here is our brownie loaf. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? It's so rich and dense and chocolatey. And our pasta's done. So let me get that. Now, as I mentioned before, the silicone's flexible, so be careful with it. Our steamers have little wings on the side, so you can grab. If you have kids helping you in the kitchen, which they love to do with these things because they are so easy, you just want to make sure they have hot pads. And then when you do this, you get a steam bath. So I am going to drain this real quick, and it's super easy to drain. You leave the lid on like that, and then kind of hold, and you pinch the corners in, and you don't need to use a colander. So it's, again, an all-in-one type device. Okay, so there's our pasta. It's all finished. I use the Capitavi pasta, I think it is. It's the corkscrews. The kids love it. Makes it fun. And here is this all ready to go. I'm gonna get a plate and plate this up and show you guys. Now, you can make it fancy with a little sprinkle of shaved Parmesan on top. That, and do this. do the chicken tenderloins. You could also just mix it all into one pot together and let the noodles soak up the sauce. I always find that pasta dishes taste so much better the next day. In fact, my family already ate dinner tonight, so this is going to be saved for tomorrow's dinner. And it'll just have that much more flavor in it. Okay, so there we go. There is our creamy chicken Parmesan skillet in 25 minutes flat. And with me doing a bunch of talking and teaching you guys about things. So if you liked what you saw tonight, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions for you at any time. I'm always available by private message. If you love to cook, if you hate to cook, if you like to share good food with people, if you just want a reason to get online and show people how to cook, think about joining Epicure. It's an awesome time right now. And our consultant kit is only $99. So you get like $250 worth of products to get you up and running and do things like this or do catalog parties. And you get to share the good food real fast with your friends and family. So please contact me if you'd like to do that. And then lastly, if you would ever like to host a party just like this or a catalog party, I'd be happy to help you with that. I love spreading good cheer, good joy, and good food with everybody that I know. So thank you for joining me tonight, and you guys have a great night. Bye-bye.